What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be just chill and sit back and relax kind of casual video. But I'm going to go over my top 10 favorite foundations and I feel like this can maybe help some of you all. So I'm going to kind of explain my skin and how it is, and then we'll jump right into the foundations. Okay, so my skin has recently been pretty dry for the most part. Well, it's always been pretty dry. I have to keep it very moisturized for it to be comfortable. So yeah, I would say that I'm pretty dry, and I do get occasional breakouts. My skin has cleared up tremendously, but yeah, I do get some breakouts, and I personally like a fuller coverage. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right into the foundations. These are not going to be in any specific order. I'm just going to show you my favorite foundations. So first I'm going to go ahead and show you the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. It looks like this. This foundation is great. I would say it does dry down to more of like just a drier finish. I don't want to say it dries down completely matte, but it does dry down to more of like a mattifying finish, I guess. This foundation is beautiful. I used it on my wedding day. It was absolutely stunning. It has like this spatula to it, so it's easy to apply the product to the skin. And this is a very good like drugstore affordable foundation. I believe it is around $4 or $5 at Walmart, so definitely pick that foundation up if you are looking for something affordable. The scent to it is not the best scent. It straight up smells like paint, so if you can handle the scent, I would definitely recommend this one. Next, the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. It is a water-based foundation. I would say it gives more of like a light to medium coverage. It's definitely buildable though, so if you're someone that wants a lighter weight finish, but like more of like a medium coverage, definitely check this one out. It has a dropper to it, so once again, it's not going to get messy on you. It's really easy to apply. This foundation has more of like an airbrush consistency, and it does dry down beautiful on the skin. That is one of the foundations though that I can use when my skin is like very clear. Also, the Rainforest of the Sea collection by Tarte is only exclusive to Sephora, so just keep that in mind whenever you are shopping for that line. It is exclusive to Sephora. Obviously you can purchase it on the Tarte website, but it is not sold in Ulta stores, and I believe it will forever be exclusive to Sephora. So, well, as of right now at least. So if you're looking for a like airbrushed feel kind of watered foundation, that is a beautiful foundation right there. This one is another foundation by Tarte that I'm absolutely obsessed with. The color's kind of dark for me right now, so I haven't used it in a while, but it is the Hybrid Gel foundation that Tarte has. They actually recently discontinued this one and took it off the shelf, but I will say that the new Shape Tape hydrating formula is very, very similar to this one. So if you are interested in getting your hands on something like this, definitely check out the Shape Tape foundation, the hydrating one. So this foundation is a very liquidy foundation. It is going to give you more of like a dewy, glowy finish. So I like to apply this one with a damp beauty sponge, and whenever I would recommend it to clients, I would recommend them to getting a sponge with it, just because I feel like if you apply it with a brush, it can leave streaks. So definitely use like a damp beauty sponge or something like that to apply that foundation with and to blend it out really well. This foundation is beautiful in the skin. I still do have to set it with some type of powder just because it will break up like around my laugh lines and stuff, which is pretty normal for foundation. I feel like it's hard to just get away from that completely. So I do set this one with a powder, and when I do that, the long wear or like the longevity of it is very, very good. So that is another one of my favorites. So next up is going to be the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse. I feel like this foundation is so underrated, but I've had this foundation for so long, and I've gone through different bottles obviously, but this foundation's so good. It gives like a very high medium coverage. You can definitely build it up to full. So on days that I want like a very full coverage look, I will go in with that foundation, It says it gives more of like an airbrush finish. I would say that it is really pretty on the skin, but it doesn't feel like an airbrush foundation would. But this foundation is really great. It's very underrated, like I said. But if you're someone that is looking for like a fuller coverage foundation, it's very thick in consistency, so just be aware of that. But like I said, the full coverage of it is very, very good. It has a pump also, so it's not going to get messy or anything like that. I would highly recommend that foundation. So next I'm going to be talking about the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD foundation. This foundation, oh my gosh, is absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful in the skin. It's another one of those foundations though that I can only use when my skin is very clear. This foundation's beautiful. Every time I wear that foundation, I always get compliments. I would say this foundation is very liquidy and more of like a medium coverage, but you can build it up to full, obviously. It's just beautiful. It leaves a very dewy and glowy finish on the skin, so if you're someone that likes that, you can leave it without any powder and you'll definitely have like a very pretty natural glow to the skin. And this foundation comes with a pump, so it's very mess free. And I do like to blend this one out with a brush, and then I'll go over with it like a damp beauty sponge and just further blend everything out. But I feel that this one works best blended out with a brush, and you can get that on, I believe it's on Amazon. You can get it on their website, so the LA Girl Cosmetics website, and then Ulta sells it now as well. So next I'm going to be talking about the Clinique Beyond Perfecting 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. This foundation is so freaking good. I have gone through so many bottles of that foundation. I have like 3 of them right now. So that foundation is going to be a little thick, and it does feel kind of thick on the skin. So if you use like a heavy duty moisturizer before your makeup, I would not with this one. I would use something that is very lightweight, like a moisturizer and a primer. Both of them, make sure that they're very lightweight. But this foundation has like a doe foot applicator to it, so it's really easy to apply and it's not going to get messy on you. This one also leaves you with like a very dewy, glowy, natural finish, and it is more on like the fuller coverage side. I do like to blend this one out with a damp beauty sponge. I feel like it lasts all day on the skin, and it's very pretty mixed with other foundations as well. So recently I've been mixing it with the Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and just to keep it from breaking up on me, I just mix this in just a very small amount, and it lasts very long on the skin. So I love this one. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. This foundation is like a top selling foundation, and you're probably wondering, girl, if you're dry, why are you wearing that? Honestly, I do really well with mattifying foundations. Some of them, if they're too matte, I just can't do it, but some that dry down to more of like a drier finish I can work with, and I can mix in like a more of a dewy foundation with it. This one is beautiful in the skin. I'm sure most of you have used this one before. It's a long wear, 12-hour wear. It has a whipped consistency, so it's very easy to work with. You can wear this foundation more on like the medium side, and then you can build it up to fuller coverage. It's very pretty in pictures as well, so if you're concerned about that, this is foundation that looks really well in pictures. And this one I would say gives a very like smooth skin-like appearance. So like I said, this is a top selling foundation. I'm sure most of you have tried it. If you haven't, go get matched up for it. You will not regret it. Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24-Hour Makeup. That's what it looks like there. This is just like a ride or die foundation for me. Like if I'm just, like I always switch out my foundations, and if I know that I need to have one that's going to work and last on the skin, I always go to this one here. It's a very good like medium to full coverage foundation. It does last on the skin for a very long time. I wouldn't say 24 hours because I haven't had it on for 24 hours. It does last really well on the skin. It has an SPF of 15, so it has a very low sunscreen in it, so it's not going to give you a lot of flashback. This foundation is beautiful. It is kind of pricey though. I would say it's very standard as far as like consistency. It's very just like a standard liquid foundation. And it does come with a pump, so it's not going to get messy on you or anything like that. This foundation is beautiful. I use it on brides all the time, and I would highly recommend this one. So if you've watched my channel, you already know that this one was going to come up. This is the Maybelline 24 Hour Super Stay Foundation. This foundation is just so good, especially for 9, 10, 11 bucks, whatever it is. So good, very good with coverage. You've heard me talk about it enough. It's just a really pretty foundation. It lasts really well on the skin. I apply that one with a brush and it's just beautiful. It leaves a beautiful finish. It doesn't sink into like my dryness or my pores or my fine lines, anything like that. And then I have mixed this with a dewy foundation too, and it's beautiful. So if you're someone that has skin like mine but you're concerned of the dryness of this one, try mixing it in with a dewy finish foundation and you'll get a better outcome. But this foundation, I love it so much. So last but certainly not least is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. This is just such a good foundation. It mixes really well with other ones. It's beautiful in the skin. It's very lightweight. It is going to leave you more with like a dewy finish. But I do set this one with a powder and it lasts really well on the skin. I also like to apply this one with a damp beauty sponge. So this is a very pretty foundation. I would say more for like the summertime. This foundation's beautiful. Oh, here we are. This foundation's beautiful in the summertime, and just set it with like a powder, put some highlighter and bronzer on. It's absolutely beautiful. If you are someone that is looking for a hydrating, medium kind of coverage foundation and something affordable, definitely check this one out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are my top 10 foundations that I'm always reaching for. Of course, like I'm always switching up my foundations and I do try different foundations here and there. These are just always the ones that I tend to grab and I know that they're going to work for me. So if you are someone that has skin similar to mine or you're just wanting to try out new foundations, definitely check some of these out. Like I said, I highly recommend them. They work for me, and I'm not the type of person to touch up my makeup throughout the day. So once it's on, girl, it's on. And I have to be sure that these are going to last well on the skin, and they do. So if you are concerned about that, trust me when I say that they last really well on the skin. But yeah, that is pretty much going to be the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and stay tuned for what's coming next. Bye!